Heavy metal.
That's original animation cell from the movie.
Original?
This is original production cell from the movie.
Wow.
They're used in the film. This is from the movie Communion. From the movie Mask. This is a Michael Myers mask from Halloween.
Oh, yeah. I see that, yeah.
This is a Nosferatu the Vampire made by Bruce Baldwin Fuller, who worked on the Dick Tracy masks. It's an original handmade mask, one of a kind, and he signed it. And this is from Dragnet Slayer. This is from Predator. This is the original Predator before it had changed, before it was resculpted and redone. It's the original one.
That's great.
How you doing? No, I'm John.
John? And who's this over here? I seen him somewhere at the Federation. What's your name?
Peter.
Who?
Peter.
Peter. Here we are at the Star Trek convention. And who do we have over here? Here's a celebrity. I think he's from the old Time Tunnel show. You were in the Time Tunnel, weren't you? You played Tony? You were Tony.
Alright, whatever you say.
Some Star Trek figures. Now, what are these figures here?
These are all hand sculpted. There's a young sculptor out in Florida that sculpts them.
Oh, this first one is from with the
Texas Chainsaw.
Texas Chainsaw.
They're all his version of his favorite monsters. Because he can't get model kits anymore, so he sculpts his own.
They're pretty good. It's good to
Funny
me.
part is that the kid is legally blind that does them. I've seen him sculpt these things and he just drives me crazy.
Auditions, plural actually. 6 auditions. Jonathan had 7, I think, but we had 6. And, you know, it was over 6 weeks. So by the end of the process, we would, well, I was a jelly. You know, I was like, you know, just wheel me in, you know. But it was hard because you knew that after every audition, you were getting closer and closer and closer. Suddenly, the job became more and more and more important. And it was also hard because I had been auditioning for Tasha, and then 3 auditions in, they switched me. So that was hard too, because they literally said, okay, when I finished auditioning, they said, oh, I was on my way out of the door, and they said, oh, come back. We want you to try this. And they gave me 3 scenes. And they said, look at these scenes, we'll give you an hour. And I went, 3 scenes, okay. All I could think of was to learn them and just see what happened in the room. Just kind of go with whatever was going to happen. Terror, basically, was what was happening. And so I learned them, and then of course they all made fun of me because I learned the lines so fast. And I think that's why I got the job. Because as it turned out, they rewrite stuff and they hand it to us and they expect us to shoot it in 10 minutes. And I think they figured, oh, well, she can learn the lines. We'll give her the job. You know, I think that was why. Yeah. Yes.
Here's a question about Michael Dorn.
Oh, a question about Michael Dorn.
Are Michael Dorn and Jonathan Frakes still doing their eating dieting
Yes,
contests?
Michael Dorn and Jonathan Frakes are always on a diet. And actually, Jonathan he went to Vienna for Christmas, and he actually lost weight on holiday, which I thought was great. I mean, commendable to say the least. Yeah, it's a constant thing for them to be, I don't know how much they weigh, but it's a lot. But they're big. They're big. They're big. I mean, you're all surprised that I'm so short, aren't you? Because in the 2 shots, they put me on a box, and I'm nearly as tall as Jonathan. When people see me, they kind of look at me like this, and then they kind of go, oh. But I do spend a lot of my time on boxes, which is why I don't move around a lot, because I would kind of go dunk and disappear out of accent. This gentleman asked why the other Baileys who come on board don't have the accent. Well, originally it was supposed to be a Baileys accent, but then what happened was, because the scripts are so late in coming, nobody really, and it started with Rachel, nobody really had time to learn the accent. So I think what we should have done in retrospect was I should have made a tape or something, and they should have sent it to, made copies and sent it to every actor who was going to be a Baileys. But that didn't happen. So if you notice, I think it was in Hagen that we decided it was my father's accent? Yeah, we decided it was my father's accent. And he travelled a lot. That's the only way I can figure that I would have his accent. Richard actually came up with a good explanation yesterday. What was it?
Because you learned telepathically.
Oh, because I spoke to my mum telepathically, you see. So I didn't have I didn't get her accent. Isn't that good? Star Trek. Michelle there wouldn't be either Gates or I in the position that we're in on the new show. So we owe it all to the show.
I'm just going to pop up on this chair so I can rest my foot. Yes. Oh, yes, yes, indeed. We have to tell you something.
How many do I get left? 1 or 2? Good. Let's get this film over.
Please do not crowd in this area. Keep your people moving. Don't speak